do you want to go aggressive somewhere to get that little bit of information? And pistol round that will get underway. BDGS starting on their T side. Very odd smoke towards Arch. That's normally what I don't like to see because it's a very shallow smoke. But look, 3 players in towards A for the side of Vetrani, 2 players in towards B. This is a bait setup. So yeah, the first player has to take contact. The stroke gets one. Oh, the crossfire being held, and yeah, BDGS running straight towards the site. They get obliterated by the 3-man setup in pit. Vetrani off the pistol. Very solid start.
Yeah, I gotta commend them with that impeccable defense that we just see on that side. And I thought that, you know, there was at least a little bit of a chance for them to pick somebody off, especially with that 3-man rush in. So I'm pretty much impressed overall. Now, going towards our second round, we do see a couple of Mag-10s holding purchase. Bombs in the hands of Insane. Well, Incendiary is being popped off already as there is a little bit more pressure on towards Banana this time around as compared to before. Now, let's see. Where can the side of BDGS actually open things up? And there's going to be a little bit of a force push. And that is a nice double coming out from Sataki.
Yeah, the B6 open as well, right? They didn't expect players there. What was there from Notasaki? It's a second round.
Oh my goodness gracious, just look at Leastro now going in for a little bit of a stab with the bullets. And same goes to Stranger, hoping to connect the shots. But with the smoke blinding the way, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But Vitrine, alongside with Zane, they will clip Strangers down. And it's going to be a little bit of seconds on the clock. And now, one more kill on the way. Well, Zaville tries to find the corners of players, and he does land a couple taps, but he needs to connect this one. What a round this was, as it ties in 1 each.
Yeah, the force by walking out for BDGS. I was just about to say, right, when we saw Vetrani opt to use their smoke for the bottom of Banana, they hadn't actually cleared it properly yet. Or BDGS, in fact, they got in front of the smoke, and thus it rendered the smoke useless. But you know, for the side of Vetrani, the CT side, they thought that it was clear and they wanted to take Banana control. And instead they were made to pay for it as players were in front and they didn't expect it. And yeah, what a round for Sataki. It's ridiculous. The third one towards CT spawn, it's not allowed. And because of that, Vetrani have to go for a little bit broken by. You can see 2 players having to go full eco, not having lost ones to fall back on. And then MP9, 257s, not the most enticing of buys at all.
Indeed, and now we did see the side of BDGS now holding back, hopefully getting a little bit of pickoff. He spots a pixel coming out, and Sataki, the man that secured a triple in the previous one, has been able to just negate that sort of push coming out of Vetrani. Now, it will be pretty much a scar spread out forces of the side of Vetrani, as they are sending the other 4 members on the other side. So I wonder if BDGS will fall for this one.
They shouldn't, because they've got 2 players already up the top Banana. Yeah, the bomb's cheating over now, so they might just thank the lucky stars that they managed to avoid the A stack, but they still need to find the kills on towards A, because the Astro clearing out middle drops the bomb. That's a huge scouting fight, and now it's panic mode now for VDGS, because for Trenny, they've been offered a way back into the round. Player trying to retrieve the weapon. B has fallen, so long as Vil can get over to this B side, the round should still be secure. So yeah, left it a little bit late there, and you know, Strangers probably shouldn't have been caught out mid with the bomb by himself. But yeah, they do stabilize fortunately, and so they should be ending on the force by walls. That is until Yestro finds one. Now it's a 3-on-2. So Vil hunting for the trade will get it, and so now 2-on-2.
Oh my. Now, there's a good take-up coming in from the side of Zane. Trying to actually leverage on that peak, and this time around, they will be giving over this point to Vetrani, as they will be getting themselves ahead just by a point. So, with enough seconds on the clock, this is where they should have pretty much a full buy this time around.
Yeah, but a little bit surprising to see Vetrani come out on top, but you can see now a little bit odd, right? Money for both sides, right? Because neither team has any loss bonus to fall back on, and that means that BDGS, they have to keep a little bit of residual cash even though they want to go in for a little bit of a half buy. So to suggest something faster, given that only Zavale has any bit of useful utility, right? One Molotov has been deployed already. Banana take coming out from Vetrani, trying to take down this part of the map, and they do find the opener. It is against pistol though, so they might just want to fall back before it's too late. We saw them get punished for it for similar maneuver earlier on. This time they take Banana at a different timing. They take it straight out of spawn, and yeah, they do get rewarded for it.
And yeah, and I do believe that this time around, Vetrani is showcasing a whole lot better control of the Banana, as there is 4 members remaining that's looking to cut across these apartments. So it's going to take quite a while. Now, BDGS, with such scarce resources, I think they're holding up just decently at the very least. While 2K as well as Stranger Ones has already been dropping down to less than 50% of health, while Strangers, of course, just trying to hang on. Now they're going back towards Banana. And oh, what just happened there?
Exchangers unfortunately DC, so 30 seconds left. Smoke been deployed as well, so yeah, BDGS, you won't want to walk through it, but I think they do not have much of a choice either. You can see Vetrani holding on to the right amount, completely dropping them at the right time, and so now Sandman right in front of the smoke, easy pickings, as he will find himself all 3 kills. Vetrani keep it clean. That's a very good sign, because now they can build a bit of an economy moving forward, making sure that they can get all the bits and pieces of utility that they would want. And you can see, right, Sandman 6,000 cash remaining in the bank, and you see the rest as well, quite a little bit. Although it's not much as of yet, but BDGS, they have to take another half buy just to be able to get the guns out next round. So again, the worst seems to have gone by for Vetrani, and now they can possibly put themselves up on 2-4.
Right. Now, we did see quite a good recall control coming out of Sandman, and we would expect him to show up once again. Now, a great notion coming in just to ensure that they keep every one of these members of the Vetrani out of sight. And Steven will drop a little bit of a smoke as Hazard gets the high elevated angles there just to do a little bit of damage, but not enough to actually flip him down. Now, Leastro will finish the job, so there will be no Sataki just to hopefully cover fire, but then again, just down in the sewers there. Nothing much that he could possibly do. Quite a distance for him to cover. Steven lands a couple of bullets on towards Wat2X, but this will result in some of the players of BDGS to fall back.
Yeah, so I think BDGS are intentionally kind of slowing it down as well, right? They don't want to just rush somewhere. Now Liastro might just farm a couple of kills in middle, right? SMG, $600 kill bonus, but he does get his head ripped off in the end. So yeah, now that BDGS have kind of expanded the utility on the side of Vetrani, they can try to go for a couple of kills. Not to be though, because Insane will find the frags that he has to, preserving the M4, which means now Liastro can whip out the AWP. I think BDGS might not expect this, so let's see if the op is able to find a quick opener. But now they've got all the utility they want on that T side, so this is going to be the first indication of whether or not BDGS can hang it with Vetrani.
That's right. Now, Mozataki just passing the C4 over as Liastro now gets into position. He's looked for that frag, and wow, will they find Strangers? And now, getting a little bit flustered up. Nozataki will still need to fend off against 2. So, this defense looking heck of solid as of the moment. And you can see that there's not going to be much of a room for BDGS to brute force their way for the time being.
Yeah, the only sort of gap we can see at the moment is on A, right? If they do decide to do an apps pop, it's only hazard to retrieve them. But you can see the fact that they've got both banana as well as brackets means that Vetrani, they're not too worried, right? Even if the players were to come out apps, the offer can just find one or two picks, and then all of a sudden it's a man advantage again. The fact that they've lost banana control BDGS, they can't cross. Nosataki has to be very cautious of the many different angles the skis can be at banana, and this is slowing down the play. 40 seconds left on the clock. Still a bulk of utility to work with on this T side, but I'm afraid at the moment, whatever they do, it might just be a little bit too telegraphed. But let's see if they can break apart the crossfire. Two players in or towards the side. Zane will rotate over as well. Now player jumping out of the apartments will fall, and it's all so split up on the side of BDGS. But Trenny is still very comfortable, yeah.
There's not much opening for them, and Millie gets cut off as well. Adder will be able to find Y2K, and yep, like you said, well coordinated coming in from the side of the Trenny, and I don't see a way either for BDS to really find themselves in a clear-cut, precise way to just get that plan down anyways. So now 5-1, BDGS, they don't exactly have much of all these sort of the money to actually make big purchases, so they will go pretty much on the economical side. And man, this is looking tough.
Looking tough, but perhaps a faster apps play, and this is the gap that we saw earlier, right? The fact that BDGS, I think they realized that round there was nobody in pit, which means at best there should be only one guy, and that's going to be towards Carpet. It's going to be Hazard. So if they trade him, then that's the A side open for taking, peeking, and Hazard spots it out, drops his incendiary. Are they going to rush him down? They will. Whoa. Is he going to find one? Yes, he does. Two as well, but ER traded it out. But now the cavalry has arrived. One player still on the side, but bomb irretrievable for BDGS. They need to get it across, and they need to get it planted to at least get the plant bonus, but that's looking a bit of a difficult task as well. Zavil sunk into his mini pit, pops the head of Liastro, picks up the bomb for his troubles, but Vetrani, still, with the man advantage, it's incredibly low. They spot the bomb out to its pit, and now the incendiary not going to flush him out for the upper, given that one has already crossed in towards mini pit. But the two players on BDGS, they're trapped. It's difficult for them to move an inch.
Oh boy, what a rush coming from Stranger Ones. And with that, it only leaves Zavale, who's only got that Deagle to work with. So it's going to be priming a little bit of a nade down low. And I do believe all that Vetrani can do is perhaps wait for him to react. And, oh my goodness! That's going to be an important pickup, and there goes the plan. Right, and just buying a little bit of time, hoping to pick things up. And then Zane is the advantage here. As much as he's having only 17 health, as he'll pick up the op before going for the fuse. Plenty of time to just do so. Well, gobbles, man. This round was looking relatively close, but Zabil went down to the wire this time around. And yeah, Deagle versus any rifles out there, I guess when you get spam perfectly, it's a little bit tad easier.
Yeah, but a couple of good shots as well, right, from BDGS. The Deagle's really making the rifles sort of a trendy sweat. But given that was a half buy, it's good economic damage, right? 4 players killed, bomb plant as well. That's pretty much everything you want. Now they can get the AWP out onto Wet 2X as well. So I want to see a little bit more banana control coming out on this T side, which is why we're gonna see Wet 2X. I think using his Molotov towards the top of banana, it's gonna be Nosataki. In fact, denying CT aggression, and that's forced the two counter terrorists to fall back into the site. So now BDGS, they've got their opponents a little bit back now, and so Vetrani have to play a little bit on the back foot. Right, a little bit more reactionary, they have to guess a little bit more as to what BDGS are gonna throw. Because if you have banana, it's very obvious. You can just play 4 towards A and you can just have one guy jump spawning banana. But now, with information denied for Trenny, they make the sweat a little bit more. Considering how the last round went, it's gonna be a little bit more cautious, and more importantly, BDGS starting to look a little bit sharper as the match goes on.
Indeed, and I really want to see how they would apply a little bit more pressure, as now there will be a smoke as they will be lobbying it from the banana section all the way in towards the side. But Trini now gets a little bit of advantage by taking down Earl. And now Nosataki is going to be seeing whether or not can he find any pickup from push. But then again, Vetreni having a whole lot more discipline for this entirety of the round. Center is on the ground. And now Astro can do.
Yeah, so now the A attack is gonna come in, play into it long. They do spawn around. Nosataki needs to actually one play into his mini pit still. He needs to hold his ground. Insane. It's good for 2. Sets up his teammate for the 1v2 clutch.
My goodness me, this guy is coming from the BGS when they were ready for the full push. You can see that they make no mistakes. Yeah, they do have a couple of trade down here, but it's still entirely possible, especially when you have the Yapping hand. Oh, he does connect the shot, but not enough for a recovery. Steve and A saves the day.
Oh, so close once again for Vetreni. BDGS nearly getting across the line, but they do manage to win out the decisive 1 versus 1. Managing to save over the AWP as well, but Vetreni, they've got a good bank to fall back on, right? So despite the rounds being close, I'm surprised to see a couple of players still with more than $10,000 in the bank before they buy this round, whereas BDGS, they're able to buy back once again because they've kept the round so close and they've got the bomb down. These are good signs coming out from BDGS, but if they can't get onto the board, then it's still a concern as well. You know, BDGS, that so close, right? You can see they were in a disadvantageous position as well. So good recovery, but still no cigar. Second mid aggression as the offer peaks, unable to find a kill. But once again, banana control relinquished over to the CT side.
Right, and you can see that Vetreni now playing a little bit more aggressively just to establish the control over towards Banana. And that forces the rest of BTGS just to fall backward a little bit more. And just making sure that they were to go in with some preemptive taps, hoping to connect. But then again, going up to the urban series could be Seville all alone. He might just be getting himself in quite a messy situation if you advance even further. So for now, they're going to take a little bit of chill pill. Gets spotted out once again, and oh boy, just through the corners of the smoke, the Astro finds one.
Yeah, 5 on 3 now, so Vetreni, they can just play safe, right? You can see this is why the two B players, despite having banana control, have fallen back onto site. But BDGS slowly and surely creeping their way up towards the second letter of the alphabet, and now CT Smoke will be deployed. Incendiary drop slows the attack down a little bit. Insane getting mollied out. Needs to throw the flash early, yet the players can dodge it. He needs to find the entry once again. He's been so good at doing that. But the second play up towards second oranges will find one. Stephen H, 2, now possibly a third. Looking for the headshot, not going to connect.
Oh, behind him though, he's pretty much alerted from the bill now. Being the last man standing once again, is getting pretty much flashed upon. And now holding on towards Ali, and Seville will be able to find it. Now 2-man push, but this be a clutch. Unfortunately, no. Liastro with a real close one. He just goes in for the stare down and says, "No, you're not gonna get any round from me." Vetreni now extends it to 8.
It's so close. Last 3 rounds, it's been down to the 1 versus 1, and all 3 rounds as well, the bomb's been planted, and again, despite BDGS going a man down pretty early on, and in fact this time it was a 3-on-5, so BDGS, if they just do not give up that opening pick, I think they might be good to actually put the second round on the board. But wow, it's so close. But surely right now you've had a couple of rounds that felt so similar in nature, right? Close, but just not getting over the line. And if you're BDGS, do you start losing a little bit of momentum? Do you start losing a little bit of hope, right? It's like, yeah, we're so close, but for some reason we can't get it over the line.
Yeah, so close yet so far. And I do believe that if they were to go at a very similar pace, just sharpen their claws a little bit, they might just be able to break open the defensive side of Vetreni. And especially if they can just ensure that not only Zavale survives, maybe alongside with Nozataki, I believe they will have enough firepower to book. Now, let's see what goes down here, because over on towards Banana, there will be 2 men that will be able to cross, and here goes what? 2x! Oh, a nasty shot coming in. And there you go. Being popped up. Nozataki once again getting a very good flick up to top that box. And now Leastro tries to check over on the other end, but it seems to be a really, really good pick over and over again coming from the side of Nozataki. And it's only down to 2 members of Vetreni. I believe that this should be an effective push that has been able to result into a single man that's still standing for Insane.
The sole difference maker this round, the fact that they do find the opener at last, right? Where 2x with the kill in towards the player, trying to shoulder pick from CT, trying to spot out information, trying to get cheap information for free, right? But he pays for it with his life. And again, Nozataki opening up that B side, right? With 2 kills as well. 1 kill on the player boosted up at quad, and a second of the player rotating in from construction. So yeah, both rounds so far that they've won, Nozataki has had quite a big impact, so he needs to continue firing because he is the man responsible for Banana. You can see both rounds that they've won, it has come from that B side. But of course, you want to be able to keep your opponents guessing as well, right? You probably want to win a round or 2 towards A, just to keep your opponents, still, wary towards that side, so that they don't play 3 or perhaps even 4 towards B off the start of the round. So BDGS, it is finally a second round. Let's see if they can keep up that momentum. I'm certainly rooting for them at the moment. They have a couple of good signs to offer. So early 3-man lean towards B, such as heavy banana take with the fallen flash being thrown, and yeah, banana take incoming. Leastro finds the opener once again to Strangers. Walking out mid, yeah, not the best of decisions, especially when you know that it's going to be an AWP on the other side.
That's right, and I felt that they weren't all too careful with this maneuver right now. Now, Insane being the one to be moving forward for the side of Vetreni, and they are just bagging on hopes whether or not BDGS will come in eventually. So this position looks to be very much a feasible one, but with most of the members of BDGS now being all stacked back up on towards the Banana side, I think that this is going to be a tough one, but 2x, he finds it. Yet again, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. They have less than 1 minute on the clock, so they have to make quicker decisions from this time onwards.
Yeah, BDGS, they've only got banana control to show for their efforts, right? They do not have any range towards the apartments. For all they know, Vetreni could have pushed. But the only thing they could work in their favor is that Vetreni, they've shown their opponents a lot of respect. Right? So now they're playing 2 on each side. I think Insane might to stop a banana. Headshot, bomb spotted as well. Now his teammates will begin to rotate, and Insane doesn't need to give up any more kills. They're trying to hunt him down, and he's good for a second. Stephen H on site, helping out his teammate Will Swing. And Vetreni, immediate response. BDGS still have enough money to buy back in. Will be the only player who will have to take a sacrifice, but that shouldn't deter BDGS from this buy. Vetreni though, it's a little bit different, right? We saw just now from Firecrest and Catman, when the team in the advantage knew that they had a pretty decent lead, right? They started taking a lot of map control, taking initiative, trying to take a lot of space, right? Whereas Vetreni, they're showing a lot of respect to BDGS, not pushing unnecessarily, showing some restraint to their aggression. Now the aggression coming out, Nozataki again finding the opener. This has been so chill for BDGS, but the trade does come in. And
that's right. It's been looking pretty interesting for the fact that you mentioned that past round, Vetreni giving a lot of room of respect towards BDGS, and this time it's pretty much a no holds barred affair on towards Banana that has been resulting to 2 kills, and Vetreni, they only lost out on Stephen GH, and I believe that it's pretty much alright. But now, heading on towards the other end, this is going to be a little bit more difficult for Vetreni to defend if they were to look for the opener. Leastro again, he tries to pick the second guy, and Zavale, he will be able to stop on the cracks. And here comes Hazard. And Zavale once more. 2 kills. But Sandman will be able to get that guy before he cuts through.
Oof. Just a shooting gallery for Liastro out at long, right? The T's decided to smoke off the incendiary that was deployed, and then just walking through grey screen, that's not what you would like to do. There was a gap there, but with the up holding and with Liastro not missing his shots, leading the way as well for Vetrani, definitely not the player you'd want to be running into. The op has always been playing on A, so if BDGS realize this, means that they could actually try and hit towards B. They know they should have an easy time taking that part of the map. So now Vetrani, they've been forced off, having to concede Banana over to BDGS, but the third player is already in rotation.
That's right, and speaking of which, now just playing a little bit more carefully from the side of Vetrani, understanding that there's still quite a number of the AKs that is available at hand that has been purchased by BDGS. Now, in terms of utilities, you can see that there's still about 3 more incendiaries that they could utilize to force members inside of Vetrani out of these strongholds. And we're going to be seeing a couple of lobs coming across as only dropping towards the corner, but Leastro coming with a wall bang as well. Just see the angle there. And speaking of which, make that a double as Steven coming from top of the box, he will be able to pick one up. BDGS now losing in terms of numbers, but it's Zavale that we're speaking of here, 12 HP, and Vetrani, full confidence, marching up ahead.
Yeah, what a read from Vetrani. They knew exactly where BDGS were headed, right? We saw a third player rotated over towards B very early on, and this is, I think, in part due to what we talked about earlier, which is the fact that BDGS, the only successful rounds have always come on B. So naturally, if you're Vetrani, you'll be more inclined to lean over. You can see all 5 players had completely abandoned the A side round about 1 minute 30. 2 players into a charge and 3 on B. And then Liastro makes his way down middle, no resistance at all. And then that just traps BDGS into having to go for this B play. Which, yes, the execute might have been good, whatever not, but, if you've got 4 players on the opposing team stacked up towards there, that's not going to work out. Rush again towards this A side. Incendiary will deny the advancement. Hazard right in front of the smoke. Number 1 spots out the second, loses his ammo, and now he'll be traded out. Yes, but still holding strong on side. ERR with the trade. Another op towards long. He can't afford to fall because now ERR has got the AK. Oh, fight 1. Ooh. Almost a spray transfer there, but BDGS a fast round towards A again, not working out for them.
Yeah, at the very least, doing a little bit of a economical damage, but then again, Vetrani's got a whole lot of cash stacked up high, especially in the hands of Liastro right now with a total of 10k. Unfortunately for BDGS, they're forcing a buy right now, and if they lose this one, they're going to be going on their pennies right there for the next round. So they have to misplay right here, right now. Oh! What 2x gets caught out once more.
Yeah, true. Just opping. Normally, you'd see oppers be a bit more free flowing, right? Pick Banana once in a while, and sometimes in towards the apartments. Liastro, he's been in brackets this entire half, but it's always worked out for him. He finds yet another onto her.
Oh boy, I feel like they're just having a little bit of the difficulty here just to advance, especially with Liastro being so sharp on his op. Yep, he did take quite a substantial damage. Now he's only got 60 HP. Enough to pick one more guy out at the very least. Now, moving back to Ritzby, as they are coming across Banana. They're popping those incendiaries, trying to clear off those corner of the walls. And I believe VDGS, they might just be able to do something. Right across the corner, smoke being popped up, coming from side of Trinity, just to clear off that passage. If they were to force a way, they'll be blinded off first. And that's where they could, of course, commit with an all-out attack. Now, stranded in Banana, what should they do?
really much of a choice, right? 20 seconds left. However, 3 players waiting on this B side for their opponent, so they're just walking straight into the Lions. Then 15 seconds remaining. They've got so much utility. Vetrani not even allowing BDGS to make their way up. So now a player still boosted up. Insane, unable to clear. Although they might still get the trade. But no time remaining. Seville not even able to plant the bomb. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 13-2 half for Vetrani. Strangers struggling quite a bit. 1 kill and 1 assist to show for his efforts. On the other side, Liastro, man, he's been insane, insane as well.
Yeah, I gotta definitely commend these two guys as you speak of it. Liastro looking pretty much unstoppable once you pass him that AWP. So now this pistol round is going to be very much vital for the likes of BDGS. And we've seen some really good attacking maneuvers coming out of BDGS. I'm wondering if their defense is even much more solid this time around. Now, there's going to be a little bit of rush coming out towards Banana. It's going to be a 3-member commitment coming in from the likes of BDGS. As they do send out blocks, but oh my goodness!
Perfect flash.
Whoa, pretty much lined up.
Yeah, just trying to take Banana, but you can see there's a player up in the stairs. Oh, Stephen H! What was that? ERR, he was mid-air.
Goodness gracious, this was
been
made to look a little bit too easy, and yep. Speaking of which, Sataki can only do so much in this pistol round, and Vetrani now on to 14. Only 2 more to book this very first point of the match.
Ooh, yeah. And BDGS have a tough decision to make. Do they want to force in or do they want to eco, at least try and play a couple of gun rounds? And they have chosen the latter option. Just a single HE grenade onto Nosataki. And the rest just having to make do with whatever they have. Not too enticing, and Vetrani suddenly licking the chops at the possibility of yet another pretty convincing victory, all things considered.
Oh man, here comes a couple of all the tabs that will be able to connect, but Watu-X, he tries to back away. Just understanding that there's a lot more utilities on the way, but Liastro goes into spray now. Strangers once. And I guess that's enough of a warning sign coming out of the side of BDGS. So, members from the side of Vetrani now. Perhaps to cut back on towards B. And with that, Vetrani, one up. Liastro only has 11 health, and Hazard! Oh man, he managed to penetrate through, and there goes her.
This was full eco, so they shouldn't have had too high of an expectation heading into it. But now, Vetrani, knowing that they still had the net control, right, can't just lock in the remaining CTs. Not really sure why Insane decided to leave it. But yeah, last 2 remaining players, only a USP and a P2K. So maybe this is where the Mac-10s can try to farm just a little bit. Heading into what will be round number 18. And yeah, 7 men with 1 and a second. Lining up for him again, kind of like what we saw in the pistol, and just like that, Vetrani put themselves onto map point. This is the best of 3 series, of course, but let's remember Inferno, the pick of BDGS. So
that's right, and I felt like on the attacking side, they were looking to be quite confident, but it went down to multiple 1v1s that they couldn't really close out, and it kind of bit them on the back now in the second half. And at least now with a bye, there is a slight chance for BDGS if they can win this one now. In terms of this round itself, Liastro finds that pick. And, well, we're seeing pickoffs after pickoffs, and I don't know how right now could BDGS just cause an upset.
They're going into B as well, no respect at all. Managing to find a trade on the player on the side, but player is still in construction. That will be Seville, unfortunately, meeting his maker. And yeah, 1 versus 3. Nosataki has been the hero quite a couple of times and finds one through the smoke. He needs to really go big if he wants to give BDGS a third.
That's right. I think that they expected him to come over other corner, and yes, they will. Vetrani here will be able to secure the very first map here in Inferno. So